GE and Happy New Year. So we write one of these docs internally every 6 months called Looking Ahead, which talks about our priorities. And we wanted to share the doc that we wrote this time with all of y'all. So let's get started. The first section, we usually talk about the last cycle and how things went. And so the way we think about the last 6 months is we did a lot of great stuff on Farcaster and Merkle. We got the identity contract shipped. We added a bunch of contributors to the Farcaster protocol. And on the Merkle side, the clients grew DAOs consistently by 5% every week. We had a bunch of new features. We got direct cast, Android beta, and a hosted API for developers that led to a bunch of new and interesting apps. There's a couple things that didn't go as well. So on the Merkle side, we didn't get to the web app as we'd wanted to. We didn't really get a user referral system. And we had a lot of issues with reliability. And on the hub side, we ended up running into some delays. And so we didn't ship hubs in Q4 as we'd originally planned due to a bunch of hard problems that we had to go and solve. So going forward, I think the big focus for us is like we take our reliability and quality seriously, and we're going to do a lot of extra work to think about complexity, to think about issues that can come up in all these scenarios, and make sure we're really focusing on getting things out and raising the bar on quality. Now, the three main goals that we're focused on at Farcaster. So the first one on the Farcaster side is we want to achieve credible neutrality, right? And that means two things for us. The first one is actually getting decentralized data storage, i.e. hubs, which anyone can run. And so the goal is that by the end of this cycle, anyone should be able to go download a hub, run it, and immediately build up a full copy of all data on the network. The second is the same, but with identity moving to mainnet. And so we want to make sure that our identity system, which currently is on Goerli, actually migrates over to the mainnet side of things. On the Merkle side, we want to continue pushing forward on user growth. So going from where we are today, which is about 1,400, 1,500 daily active users, and getting to a point where we have 5,000 daily active users is going to be a big focus for us. And that's about 5% growth every week, which is our target. Now I want to get into like a little bit of the timeline and the roadmap. So on the Farcaster side, the way we're thinking about timelines now is the next phase of the hub, where we have a single hub that's operating, that's ingesting all the data from Merkle and other applications, that's going to be done by March 1st. So this is sort of a trial where we ship, test, and fix all the issues that come up with a single hub. From March to April, March 1st, April 1st specifically, we're going to have up to 10 hubs running. And we're going to start testing out some of our peer-to-peer and synchronization algorithms, making sure that this works at scale. And then once April and May hit, we're going to focus on the next push, which is actually building all the scalability features so that anyone can actually connect and spin up a hub. And by May 1st, we expect that anyone should be able to just go download a hub, spin it up, and get the full copy of the network. Aspirationally, we'd also like to get the identity migration done this quarter and have it finished by June. There's a little more uncertainty around this, which is why it's in dotted lines. And so there's a chance that these deadlines shift, whereas we have reasonably high confidence in the hub deadlines over here. Now, on the Merkle side, there's a little more stuff to talk about. And I'll try to talk through some of the features and how we're thinking about prioritizing them. So the first thing that we're shipping is QR login, which means you can take a QR code and use it to log in to your desktop app from your mobile app or vice versa, which makes it super easy to have multiple devices connected to Farcaster. And we're also going to fix the nasty bug where direct casts don't work very well if you have multiple devices. If you've seen that screen that says your keys are no longer valid when you're trying to DC somebody, this is one of the root causes, and we're actually going to fix this. The other side of it is we're actually going to get to the App Store. So we're running out of test flight invite seats, and we actually need to get on the App Store to make it easier for new users to download the app. And we also want to get to a user-based invite system. So it's no longer DM, DWR, and Twitter. Some of you will actually have invites that you can go and hand out to other users and bring them on board to the platform. There's a few other things over here. So the first chunk is all about making it easy for new users to get onto the platform. The second chunk is we're going to rebrand the clients. So currently the Farcaster app and protocol have the same name, and we're actually going to separate them over time. So we'll have some more updates about what those names are going to be soon. And we also want to build out the recovery system, which makes it easy to recover your account in case you ever lose your seed phrase. And we've talked about how this works in previous videos. The big thing here is that the web client is going to start this quarter, but probably not get done. The web client is actually a pretty significant piece of work, and we're not going to be able to start it until April because we really need to hire and get somebody if we want to start it sooner. So if we are able to make decent progress on hiring, you'll actually see us pull this up and maybe get this done sooner. But as it stands right now, we sort of expect this to start in the second half of the next 6 months and finish towards next year. The other pieces up here that are worth talking about from a developer perspective is we have the API token request flow. So this is how you can request an API token from a client for your application, which is going to happen around February, and the signer request flow, which is going to happen closer to May, because this is when hubs go online, and this is when you can actually start requesting delegate signers. Cool. That's the overview of what we're building.